Can Manchester United continue their hot run in form? Can Chelsea win consecutive games for the first time since early November? What are my Premier League predictions for match week 30 along with my fantasy team? Let's talk about it.
Hey guys, it is Finn here. That is FYW, and I hope you're all having a really good week. Of course, it is the beginning. The beginning of a week is normally quite slow. But as a Manchester United fan, I am very happy with my results. Of course, I can't believe it's already match week 30. That is insane. I always say that, but this season's gone by so fast. Match week 30 out of 38. Mental. I do just want to say, if you do enjoy Premier League content, then please do subscribe to this channel. It would help me out so much and I would really appreciate it. I do want to reach 350 subscribers, maybe soon 400 subscribers. So please do help me out by hitting that subscribe button and the notification button, that bell button, to be notified as soon as I do upload. This game that I will be talking about is Watford versus Leicester City. That's going to be the first one. And I don't know about you guys, but this is actually trickier than I thought. Because Watford, they've only won one in their last 7 games after having a pretty good, comfortable run in form. And to think that that one game that they won was against Liverpool, mental. Along with that, playing Leicester City, they've actually also only won one in their last 7 games, and they've lost against teams like Norwich. So Leicester City, from a team that looked like they could actually catch Liverpool to really just falling down so heavily, Leicester, I really don't know what to think about you guys anymore. But you know what, in my prediction today, I am going to go with Leicester City over Watford. We'll see what happens, but I do think Leicester will get a 2-0 win over Watford. And I want to say, if Leicester can qualify for the Champions League, which let's be honest, they will qualify for the Champions League, it would be so interesting to see what it does to their budgets and the kind of players they can bring in once the season is done. I really think they can improve the team and remain a top 4 team by the end of the season. Bournemouth versus Crystal Palace. Now, Bournemouth, you guys, I don't know what to say anymore. You guys look like such a good, constant mid-table team, and then you guys have really just dropped. You are in serious threats of the relegation zone. You guys have had probably your worst season in a very long time. To me, if I could compare you to any other team, it would probably be like Stoke City, where I always thought of Stoke as always a mid-table team, and then they get relegated. And at the same time, I think Crystal Palace will have the upper edge on this one, or the upper hand rather, because they've won their last 3 games in a row, which is very impressive, and I haven't always backed them, and this time I will back Crystal Palace with a 1-0 away win. Brighton versus Arsenal is next. Now, of course, Arsenal are playing against Man City midweek, and I think Arsenal are going to be pretty tight. My prediction for that one, which I didn't put in the last video because that game was postponed and stuff was weird, so it wasn't an option for me to predict. So, Arsenal versus Man City, I'm probably going to go for like a 3-0 loss or a 2-0 loss at least to Man City winning that one. No offense, Arsenal, but I don't back you guys that much. You guys aren't as strong as you used to be. That's no secret. Your biggest achievement in like the last year or two is, retaining your unbeaten run, which, come on, Liverpool's by far a better team than Arsenal's past teams. Or maybe it's not. I want you guys to put that. Haha, it's a trick. I want you guys to vote in the I think up above. Who do you think's better, the current Liverpool team or the Arsenal unbeatables or invincibles? That's their name, right? For the Arsenal versus Brighton game, Arsenal have not lost a game this year, at least in the Premier League. Europa League. At least now you guys have more practice time for Premier League. I am going for Arsenal to win this one. I do think Arsenal can win this one 3-0 away, if not 4-0 away, but 3-0 away is the score I'm going with. Manchester City is next versus Burnley. Manchester City, the second best team in Manchester. Look, I'm not going to be too over the top with it.
Manchester will always be red.
I do think that Man City is still a very strong team, and I have to say defensive work from Man United in the Manchester derby was very good, and there were just some odd plays, and I do have to say I think Ederson really did cost Man City the game at points. So because of that, plus they didn't have Kevin De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne might not be fit for the game, but the slight chance that he will be, I can still see Man City beating Burnley, although Burnley have been very impressive. They are 7 games unbeaten, which is such an incredible stat for Burnley. They have not lost in months, and they're looking so strong. But you know what? I think it's going to be quite a heavy blow. I think it's going to be a 4-0 win to Manchester City against Nick Pope. I'm sorry, I do back Nick Pope, which, by the way, guys, click on the I think up above to see my video where I predicted what I think the England squad should look like for the Euros 2020. The whole squad, the whole England squad, go check that out. Newcastle versus Sheffield United. Now, normally I would go for Newcastle, but there's just something special about Sheffield United. If I could compare Sheffield United to anyone, it would probably be like Sam from Game of Thrones. Everyone expects you to go down. Everyone expects you to die. But you just surprise everyone, and you don't. So because of their performance, I am going to go with Sheffield United. Although they're away, I will give them a 2-1 win over Newcastle. Although we have seen some really impressive results from Newcastle, but they haven't had the best season ever yet. I think they've surprised a lot of people with their current performances, but I mean, definitely the same can be said about Sheffield United. So I back Sheffield United. Norwich versus Southampton. Now, this is quite a tricky one, but you know what? I'm going to go for a 1-0 win for Norwich because, I mean, although Norwich haven't won lots of games, they've literally only won a handful of games at the time of recording. They have literally their Liverpool loss where they lost 1-0. I saw them the entire game having a chance, which they looked so incredibly strong, Norwich, and they did beat Leicester 1-0, which was kind of a weird game, but I kind of do back Leicester City, wrong name, Finn. I do back Norwich against Southampton, but yet I wouldn't be surprised if Southampton won because they've been, you know, up and down this season, but they have looked very impressive since the beginning of the season. But you know what? I think I'm going for Norwich. Aston Villa versus Chelsea. Now, this is going to be quite a tricky one in terms of, yes, I think Chelsea is the obvious one, but guys, they have not won consecutive games in the Premier League since like the 9th of November last year. That is insane. I mean, they won 6 games in a row up until that point, and then they haven't won any consecutive games. But you know what? I think I am going for Chelsea after such a, you know, triumph kind of, I don't know, like battle against Everton to win with such a high score. I'm going to give Chelsea another reasonably high score with a 3-0 win over Aston Villa. Yes, I think Aston Villa can look great on attack and they could actually pose as a threat. I mean, Chelsea is the kind of team currently to just have a surprise shock loss to Villa, but I do have to give Chelsea the 3-0 win on this one. I think that they could pose a serious attacking threat. West Ham versus Wolves. Now, West Ham also in a relegation battle. I mean, who would have thought a David Moyes Premier League team not doing well? I mean, has that ever happened before? But yeah, guys, I seriously do back Wolves. I mean, they got a very comfortable draw versus Spurs, but at the same time, Spurs didn't have lots of the good plays, and Wolves really should have won that one. But I'm going to say Wolves are going to win this one against West Ham, 2-0 away from home, just because as a total, this Wolves team looks very strong, and I can't see too much fight left in West Ham in terms of their ability. Maybe they won't get relegated, who knows? Spurs versus Man United. Now, this, of course, is a huge one. Though this is normally a very close one, I do want to say I really just backed Manchester United over this one. I mean, we haven't lost in a month and a half. Bruno Fernandes was player of the month after only being in the Premier League for a month in the Premier League, which, look, he is a game changer, and I really do think United could compete for something next year. I'm not saying we'll win the Premier League, but I'm saying we could get into top 4. We could win one of the other side cups like the FA Cup or Carabao. We are looking that kind of strong with Bruno, which is so bizarre to think one player could do that. And you know what? Without the main men for Spurs are looking so incredibly weak. I mean, I know I sound like Mourinho now calling out on Spurs players, on individuals, but yeah, without Son, without Kane, it could be a real struggle for Spurs. And this is massive, guys. I'm going for a 3-0 away win for Manchester United. I know that sounds insane, but Manchester United with Bruno, you guys look so insanely strong. Your squad is looking so much stronger. And I'm not saying that United is 100 times better than Spurs. I'm just saying without the main men, and I don't really back Spurs' defense, I have to go with this very big win. The Merseyside derby is the last game before I get into my fantasy team. Everton versus Liverpool. It is home for Everton. And you know what? I would like to give Liverpool a pretty comfortable win, but at the end of the day, I'm only giving Liverpool a 1-0 win versus Everton, just because no matter what, no matter how weak Everton look or how strong Liverpool look, I mean, yes, Everton have just lost 4-0, and I mean, well, weirdly enough, Liverpool are just like not too far ahead of only their like 3-0 loss versus Watford. It's a very weird place, but you know what, no matter what the forms of these two teams are, it is always close, and I'm giving it to Liverpool by 1 goal. Quickly getting into my fantasy team, there it is as usual. The changes I have made is I did sell Mapai from Brighton because I don't think Brighton will get any points this week, and I have put Ayew because Ayew, I mean, I've seen so much improvement in his form this season. Another change I've made is Alderweireld because, I mean, I don't back Spurs' defense at all, and I have brought in Evans, the ex-Manchester United boy, the most decorated player at Leicester, which, by the way, if you don't know who the most decorated player at every Premier League club is, go check out that video that I did make about that. But I have gone with Evans because he is looking strong for Leicester City. Other changes I made is Kevin De Bruyne might not be match fit, so I've just put him on the bench for now, and I've put Sarr in from Watford because although I don't back Watford to win this week, I think that he could pose as a threat. And the last change I've made is obviously because Kevin De Bruyne was my captain, is I've made Bruno Fernandes my captain this week. Let's hope something great can come from this week. Once again, guys, seriously, I really do want this channel to grow, and I would appreciate appreciate it if you guys did share it, if you did subscribe, if you helped me get to 350 subscribers. That would be insane. But I do love every single one of you guys. You guys are awesome. You guys are, I mean, the support you guys give me is insane. You guys are the best fans, or the best like community on YouTube. My words, I think you guys are awesome. Thank you guys. This has been Finn, FYWN. I love every single one of you. Stay awesome. Cheers.